I'm Randy, the National Couture.
This is BJ Penn.
This is John Fitch.
Hey, I'm Ariane Celeste.
I'm Forrest Griffin.
I am Fyodor. You are watching MMA Fix.
MMA Fix is here with Jonathan Brookins, the lightweight TUF12 finalist, and we're at the open workouts, but I believe you missed your workout.
I missed this workout while I was doing another workout, and I forgot about this workout. So, that's how it goes, man. This media stuff is all kind of very, very new to me, slightly foreign. So I'll maybe get hopefully, I get a handle on it and be good at it in the future.
Is it maybe because you're slightly a hippie?
I could definitely say that's a safe bet. That I probably just blew it off.
You were feeling too zen to be here in this media craziness.
Yeah, I think that's a slight bit of it. That's probably a fair analysis.
So you're from Team GSP, but so is your opponent. How did it happen that both GSP guys are in here and no Koscheck guys?
Great coaching, great coaching. I just think that's really what it comes down to. We were just more mentally prepared than the other competitors. They were just as tough, but I think that we had the edge and just a sound mind, and that proved to be an effective route to take.
You were on Team GSP, but did you have a chance to see how things were going with Team Koscheck and see the difference in the coaching styles while you were in it and not as you watched the show?
I could hear about, what the other team was going through. They kind of tried to, keep some stuff from us, and, kind of play that whole, we don't want to tell you what's going on in our training, practices and stuff. But as it rolled on, you could kind of get the hint that it wasn't going as smooth as ours. They weren't as they weren't as happy with how their days were panning out. They were working extremely hard, but you can tell that they weren't really satisfied with what with the work they were putting in. Whereas our work, George would always stress work hard but work smart. So there'd be days where we worked harder than others, and other days where we worked not as hard but equally as smart. So I believe that it was definitely the coaches played a huge hand.
And can you tell us about all the great coaches that GSP brought in for you?
Oh man, there was no shortage of incredible coaches. He brought in John Danaher first and foremost was like the captain of the ship. He just he held it down. He just enlightened us in so many ways, and he changed my life and the way I think about this sport. So I thank him for that. I mean, he changed it right from the beginning. So that was a great coach. He brought in specialists in all sorts of. And specialists in all of their trade. Boxing, he brought in Freddie Roach and Mike Tyson.
What was that like?
That was incredible. Freddie Roach was each one. Mike Tyson and Freddie Roach is just it blows you away because these are your idols. These are guys that you almost you could have gone your whole life and not had the opportunity to meet them. So the fact that they brought them into you find yourself really grateful to George for that. That's mostly I think what we got out of it is we were all just really grateful to George. Not only was he somebody that was like a hero to us, but the things that he offered us was far exceeded our expectations for what we had for him.
Now, during the show, he was a great coach for you guys, but you're both teammates going into this fight. Was he a coach for you after the show?
I didn't go get coaching from him after the show, just off the strength that I was kind of focusing on my life back in Florida and whatnot. I got to talk with him and stuff, and John Danaher made sure he stayed in contact with me, and it was pretty much like a long-distance phone coach. He would call in and make sure he offered me words of advice, and in times when I really needed them. So, we stayed in touch that way, but I didn't get any physical training from them after the show, which, it doesn't mean that in the future I won't, but at this time, I didn't get a chance to yet.
You and Johnson had an opportunity to become good friends while you had your time on the show. What's it like to face a friend?
When you get inside the cage, it's pretty much just like facing anybody else. It's facing an opponent, not a friend. But
have you talked at all?
Yeah, we talked here, once we talk here, I mean, it's just like same thing talking to him like we were in the house. But since the house, we kind of stayed distant because, we had things to focus on. We had a task at hand. It wasn't like, like, hey, buddy, like, da-da-da, that kind of would have made it kind of awkward. So made sure to, like, keep our lives separate and stuff. So that's one thing about this fight that's going to be nice to get when it's over. We could go back to, really being the friends that we, like, capitalizing on the friendship that we built while being in the house because we haven't really had that opportunity yet.
Does he look different at all to you when you saw him? And he's actually training, and we can hear him training right next door to us. Are you itching to take a look at him?
No, I don't mind. Yeah, he looks like the same Michael Johnson, So, he's always been a great athlete and a great competitor. So, it's not even weird to me to see him around and stuff because we spent so much time together. So, it's pretty cool.
Finally, Josh Koscheck isn't a big fan of Raw Vegas over here. We probably haven't made him too happy throughout the years. But how do you feel about Koscheck? What words do you have to describe him? Would you say he's a really good guy, or?
I mean, from what I know about him, from everything, from our personal conversations, if I had to say anything, I would say he's a decent guy. I dug him. He was always fairly cool. I never really saw that side of him that I'm seeing, like when I watch the TV. I never seen him really act like that. Besides when he choked the guy Tate, that was the only time. But you could see that building, so it was something I could have predicted. But all the other things, the way he talks to George, or the way he talks to, his guys or whatever, I never got to experience that. So I mean, I'm kind of got mixed emotions toward. I mean, I'd still be extremely cool with Josh if I seen him. I mean, I have no animosity towards him, but I'm still very loyal to George because that was a really, really down to earth dude.